Have you ever looked at a couple and thought, they seemed so in love once, what happened? Maybe you've even asked yourself that painful question in your own relationship. Why don't we feel the same way anymore? Why has the spark disappeared? Today we're diving into one of the most uncomfortable but important truths about relationships. Why couples stop loving each other, why passion fades, and what the brutal reality is behind vanishing desire. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll not only understand why it happens, but you'll also see what you can do to prevent it, or even bring love back to life. So stay with me, because the things you're about to hear might completely change the way you look at relationships. Love stories often begin with fireworks. We meet someone new, our brains light up with dopamine, oxytocin, adrenaline. We feel excitement just hearing their name. Every message, every glance, feels electric. But here's the harsh reality. That stage never lasts forever. Research shows the chemical cocktail of early passion typically fades within 6 to 18 months. That doesn't mean we stop caring, but it does mean the brain can't maintain that same level of infatuation forever. And this is where many couples hit their first wall. They confuse the natural decline of new love energy with a sign that the relationship is dying. They think, if I don't feel butterflies anymore, maybe I don't love them. But in reality, it's biology, not necessarily a lack of love. So why do some couples transition into deeper love, while others slowly drift apart? Let's explore the reasons. Reason number 1, they stop nurturing intimacy. Intimacy isn't just sex. It's emotional closeness, vulnerability, shared experiences. In the beginning, couples naturally invest in each other. They ask questions, they listen, they share dreams. But over time, life gets in the way. Work, kids, stress, routine. Conversations turn into logistics. Who's picking up the groceries? Did you pay that bill? When emotional intimacy fades, physical intimacy almost always follows. It's not that people stop caring. It's that they stop showing up for each other in the ways that matter most. Love becomes background noise. Reason number 2, the silent killer. Resentment. Resentment builds quietly. Maybe one partner feels unappreciated. Maybe another feels unheard. At first, these frustrations seem small, but if they're never addressed, they grow like cracks in the foundation of a house, and eventually the whole thing collapses. Studies on long-term relationships show that the number one predictor of divorce isn't conflict itself. It's how couples handle conflict. Couples who avoid difficult conversations, who sweep issues under the rug, often end up resenting each other so deeply that love suffocates under the weight of unspoken anger. Reason number 3, they confuse comfort with love. One of the brutal truths about relationships is that love and desire don't always coexist easily. Desire thrives on novelty, mystery, distance. Love thrives on safety, stability, closeness. Over time, couples often choose comfort over passion. They become roommates instead of lovers. They stop flirting, stop surprising each other, stop taking risks together. And when that happens, passion dies. Not because the love is gone, but because passion needs oxygen, and routine smothers it. Reason number 4, personal growth becomes unbalanced. Here's something few people talk about. Relationships don't die only because of what happens between two people. They also die because of what happens within them. If one partner grows, evolves, learns, while the other stays stagnant, a gap begins to form. Maybe one person invests in personal development, while the other clings to old habits. Maybe one wants adventure while the other prefers routine. Over time, they stop recognizing each other, And instead of walking side by side, they drift in opposite directions. Reason number 5. They stop choosing each other. This is the hardest truth of all. Love isn't just a feeling. It's a choice. In the beginning, that choice feels effortless. But in long-term relationships, choosing your partner requires conscious effort. Choosing to listen when you're tired. Choosing to forgive when you'd rather hold a grudge. Choosing to invest in intimacy when Netflix feels easier. Couples stop loving each other when they stop making that choice. When they start prioritizing convenience, distraction, or ego over connection. And eventually, the relationship feels empty. Not because it had to end, but because neither person fought to keep it alive. But here's the part that most people don't realize. Losing love isn't always sudden, it's gradual. It's a death by 1,000 cuts. Not one big betrayal, but countless small moments where partners turn away instead of toward each other. When you stop asking how their day really went. When you stop saying thank you for the little things. When you stop touching each other just because. It's in those small, silent withdrawals that love begins to fade. Now, let's go deeper into something people rarely admit. Sometimes, love doesn't fade. It transforms. Think about it. At first, love is fueled by excitement and desire. Later, it's about trust, security, shared history. Some couples mistake this transformation as a loss, when in reality it's evolution. If you expect your relationship to feel like the first date forever, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. The real challenge isn't keeping the spark alive at all costs. It's learning how to balance passion and stability, how to create desire within safety, and how to see love not as something that happens to you, but something you actively cultivate. So, what can we do about it? How do we stop love from dying? Number 1. Keep curiosity alive. Don't assume you already know everything about your partner. People are constantly evolving. Ask questions, explore their thoughts, rediscover them again and again. Number 2. Protect intimacy. Not just physical intimacy, but emotional intimacy. Make time for conversations beyond the daily grind. Share fears, dreams, fantasies. Vulnerability is the glue of love. Number 3. Tend to resentment before it takes root. Don't let anger fester in silence. Learn to have hard conversations without blame. Seek understanding, not victory. Number 4. Create space for desire. Passion needs contrast. Sometimes you need distance, playfulness, even a little mystery. Surprise each other. Step outside of routine. Desire isn't automatic, it's created. And number 5, choose each other every single day. Not because it's easy, but because love is built on thousands of small choices that say, I'm here, with you, for you. But here's the brutal truth. Not every relationship can, or should, be saved. Sometimes couples stop loving each other because the relationship wasn't built on true compatibility in the first place. Sometimes people fall in love with potential, with fantasy, with projection, not with the real person in front of them. And when reality sets in, the illusion shatters. That's why understanding yourself is just as important as understanding your partner. You can't nurture love with someone else if you don't know what kind of love you need, what wounds you carry, and what patterns you repeat. So, let me ask you, do couples really stop loving each other? Or do they stop showing love? Do they really lose passion? Or do they stop creating it? The difference matters. Because when you see love as a living thing, something you feed or starve, you realize it's not just fate. It's not just chemistry. It's responsibility. And maybe that's the brutal truth about vanishing love. It doesn't disappear on its own. We let it fade. slowly, quietly, until one day we wake up next to a stranger we used to adore. But here's the hope. If love can fade through neglect, it can also grow through intention. If passion can die through routine, it can also be reborn through curiosity and play. If intimacy can weaken through silence, it can be rebuilt through vulnerability. Love isn't static, it's dynamic. And while not every relationship will survive, the ones that do prove that love isn't about never losing the spark. It's about lighting it again and again together. So if you're watching this and thinking about your own relationship, I want you to remember, it's not about waiting for love to magically stay alive. It's about how you show up for it, day after day. And if this video made you reflect, if it opened your eyes to something you hadn't thought about before, then I invite you to stay with me here on Decode Love. This channel is all about uncovering the hidden dynamics of relationships, love, and intimacy, truths that can transform not only how you see your partner, but how you see yourself. So don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss future episodes, and share this video with someone who might need to hear it, because the more we understand love, the better we become at living it. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Do you believe couples really stop loving each other? Or is it more about forgetting to nurture what they already had? Let me know in the comments, because your perspective might be the exact insight someone else needs today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And remember, love isn't just something we fall into. It's something we choose, again and again.